The most fascinating characters in anime are the manipulator skills, those who use their wit and charisma to bend others to their purpose. From the cunning and calculating to the deceptively charming, we'll show the best anime manipulators from genius main characters based on their skills, tactics, and impact on the story. Keeping watching this video and stay awesome. Let's go! The genius main character in this anime is a direct generation descendant of the legendary detective Sherlock Holmes and the criminal mastermind James Moriarty. Ron Kamonohashi is a talented detective and set a record as the highest graded student in history at Detective Training Academy Blue. Ron is passionate about solving mysteries, and there isn't a case he can't solve. He has a crazy personality while having accurate deductive skills and an excellent memory for detecting clues. In all the cases he solves, he always finds himself guilty of revealing the mysterious ability of the supernatural eye that can pressure a murderer to commit suicide. To repair his reputation, he must partner up with an amateur detective in the Metropolitan Police Department named Todomaru Ishiki, often shortened to Todo. Todo is weak with deductive abilities but has instead the purity of heart to help someone his body often acts on instinct before his mind. It was a great help to Ron to avoid the same mistake as the bloody field trip case 5 years ago, which had made him lose his detective license and was labeled a murderer. Akira Shiro Yanagi and a few chosen ones are forcibly compelled to play in the death game, created by sadistic and cruel cat girl named Mion. Mion is interested in seeing people slaughter each other for her pleasure, and has the ability to create illusions to trick others. Participants involved in the experiment are given special abilities in exchange for disappearance from their origin. Armed with powers no one expected, and his brain skills, a new period of intelligence combat began. The main character's ability, named Sophist, is a double-edged weapon that can bring significant benefits or inflict wounds on himself. This ability allows him to use any ability he believes the other person possesses. If it was successful, it instantly manifested into his power and gave Akira an advantage. Being a natural-born prodigy, Akira has an excellent memory and a high level of intelligence in calculating all obstacles wisely. Even if possible, he will utilize his comrade's setback as a stepping stone to ultimate achievement by winning every death game. Inspired by fantasy stories, the main character is obsessed with becoming a power in the shadows. After reincarnating into another world and gaining abundant magical powers, Sid Kagehou is very charismatic to gather his followers with telling absurd storylines about the cult of Diablos. Even so, he had successfully established a mysterious hidden clandestine global organization called Shadow Garden. His followers believe that he is a brilliant mastermind who is even willing to risk their life as a form of loyalty to his master. His success comes from sheer luck, improvisation, and the extraordinary combat prowess that he has been honing in his previous life. In his daily life, Sid hates attracting the attention of many people and prefers to portray himself as a weak character. He was so confident of his achievements that he made a point of dedicating himself to having fun and was part of the surprise dramatization of the turning point of people undermining him earlier. Yuichi Katagiri is a seemingly ordinary high school boy from a low-income family. Like the rest of his friends, he has been called upon to participate in the Tomodachi game, and someone's debt tests his trust in his friends. As the game progresses, Yuichi reveals a very different side to himself, one that is ruthless, skillfully manipulative, and merciless to his enemies. Yuichi often allows himself to be underestimated by his enemies to deceive them and reverse the situation in right times. It is also implied that he has a dark and bloody past, as he is confirmed to have killed at least 3 people. He chooses to join the adult Tomodachi game and destroy its administration, though it is later revealed that he was the one who came up with the idea for the Tomodachi game for leading to its creation. No Game No Life is an isekai fantasy about gaming world that follows Sora and Shiro, reclusive introvert siblings, and the unbeatable group of gamers behind the legendary online nickname Blank. They are transferred into another world, where the games are everything way to solve the problems. As humanity's representative, their goal is to unite the 16 races of Disboard under their control by defeating one true god game named Tet, and becoming the new gods of this new world. Shiro is described as genius girl and highly intelligent calculation problems, but has trouble understanding others' emotions. but Sora is also highly manipulative to lying with others by observing their behavior and motivations. His extraordinary powers called cold reading help him to devise complex plans quickly and in showing proficiency in a strategy to win the game. Kiyotaka Ayanokoji is a stoic member of Class D, which is the school dumps its inferior students. Despite his aloof demeanor and not being good at making friends, Ayanokoji is adept at getting whatever he wants. In order to follow the elite student's behavior, the situation becomes complicated, and he starts to get involved in many affairs. Due to his upbringing in the White Room, he has come to see everyone around him as a tool and is only intent on winning above everything else. All children in the White Room can grow to a certain level, and neither one of them is able to reach the target except for Kiyotaka Ayanokoji, pretends to be an average student to refuge the past at the advanced nurturing high school. He anticipates everyone's actions and always anticipates has a contingency for them, would seek to corner behind his mysterious nature. Because of this mindset and his actions, he doesn't care for those he has befriended, or if he has just gained their trust to use them on his few strategies to get an advantage. Eren Jaeger is the master plan who requires unethical means about the Titan problem. Ever since his village was attacked at the beginning of complicated main character's personality, with his righteous goals to genocide 80% of humans in live outside the wall. Eren is a very black and white character who sees that the only way to comfort the people of Paradise is to wipe out everyone else. His convictions are so strong that others flock to his thinking without pause. As well as inspiring his comrades, Eren also possesses the Founding Titan, which allows him to manipulate the memories and actions of all Eldians, but only when in physical contact with someone of royal blood. After joining the Jaegerist, Eren broke all ties with Mikasa and the military. When Mikasa tried to bring him around, he insulted her and claimed that she had become what he hated most in the world. He used his manipulation skills against his half-brother Zeke, a member of the Marleyan army, to only gain access to the powers of the Founding Titan. Lelouch Lamperouge. The Prince of Britannia may be a hero to some people, but he's actually one of the best examples of a complicated anime anti-hero in history. The main character only shows his genuine concern for his cousin and his mission for revenge. He is known for his incredible intelligence and ability to manipulate opponents using his geese to achieve his goals. This power allows him to plant a command in the other person's brain just by making eye contact. It had limitations, as the power didn't work on the same person twice, so Lelouch had to be very careful before deciding to use it. The most exciting moment in the series comes when Lelouch finally takes over the world and incites numerous rebels throughout the Chinese Federation, even caught up in a conflict where he does not know the full extent of his power. In a dramatic and unforgettable scene, Lelouch becomes involved in a terrorist attack behind his masked vigilante, and being the leader of the resistance movement known as the Black Knight. He did not care about what happened due to his commands, which became apparent when he used the geese on his cousin, and it led to a massacre. High school student named Light Yagami discovers a supernatural notebook of death and meets the previous owner, the Shinigami named Ryuk, who allows him to kill anyone by writing the victim's name while picturing their identity. He used the pseudonym Kira for the figure attributed with causing the epidemic deaths of criminals. The story follows his attempts to become a god by creating a new world that is free of injustice and cleansed of people whom he deems criminals or those who cross his path by using the Death Note. Light is characterized as a natural genius, talented and good at mapping out scenarios. Even in unpredictable situations, like a manipulating the time of death is possible as well. He is driven to achieve his ambitions. Even if he manipulates everyone who believes in him, that is part of his plan to defeat the master detective known as L by revealing his true identity publicly and eliminating him with a death note. One of the most enthralling dark anime about a serial killer and a Japanese surgeon whose life is suddenly filled with mystery, death, and heartbreak after he finds out that his former patient becomes cold-blooded murderer. Johan Libert has been a master of psychological manipulation since his childhood, using his words to convince others to do his bidding. He does not need to use violence to commit murder, as his words are enough to make the other person lose their mind and march to their own death. This was the all thing he wanted to do, with no apparent end other than to cause suffering and destruction. Johan has had many pseudonyms throughout his life to ease him into action. because he is known to have caused many deaths everywhere in different ways with his skill to identifying a person's weaknesses and using them to his advantage. This psychological thriller anime has some mind-blowing plots and incredible character stories that keep diving into the deep stuff, like solving complex riddles and catching the vibes without getting too bloody or violent. Johan's ultimate goal is to create chaos and destruction, and earning him the title of the best manipulator in the anime universe. Thanks for watching this so far. If you like this video, please leave a like, or let's give your opinion about anime manipulators that you want to share in the comments section. See you in the next video about Isekai Anime Overpowered. I'm signing out, and peace.